Let me share a story with you, a story that can change the way you see life forever. It's about perspective, faith, and finding the good, even in the hardest moments. Because here's the truth. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. In a quiet American town, there lived a man named Sam. Now, Sam wasn't rich. He didn't have a big house, a fancy car, or a powerful job. In fact, he lived pretty simply. A small house, a modest income, and just enough to get by. But here's what made Sam different: his mindset. While most people worried about what they didn't have or stressed over the future, Sam had one guiding belief. Everything happens for a reason, and that reason is always working for my good. You've probably met someone like Sam, or maybe you want to be like Sam. He was the kind of person who carried peace in his heart. You could see it in his smile, hear it in his words, and feel it in his presence. And here's the thing about people like that. They inspire some and frustrate others. Why? Because their calmness reminds us of what we're missing: trust. Sam didn't just talk about faith, he lived it. His favorite phrase: stop worrying about what's outside your control. Do your part, trust the process, and let God handle the rest. One day, something devastating happened in Sam's town. A little boy accidentally got his finger caught in a door, and it had to be partially amputated. The boy cried endlessly, and his parents were heartbroken. You can imagine how they felt: angry, confused, lost. They kept asking, why us? Why our son? And then, as if on cue, Sam showed up. He listened to their pain, nodded, and said something that stopped everyone in their tracks. I know it's hard right now, but trust me, this will turn out to be a blessing. Everything happens for a reason. Now put yourself in those parents' shoes. How would you feel? They were furious. The father lashed out. How dare you say this is a blessing? Our son is suffering. What kind of person says that? Sam didn't argue. He just smiled and said, I'm not asking you to understand it now. I'm asking you to trust that one day this will make sense. Then quietly he walked away. Months passed, and life in the town carried on, until something terrifying happened. A dangerous cult arrived in the area. They believed in sacrificing children to their gods, and they'd been traveling from town to town, taking one child from each village. Now it was this town's turn. The cultists chose the boy who had lost his finger. His parents were devastated, begging the group to spare him. But the cultists ignored them and prepared the boy for sacrifice. But then something unexpected happened. As the leader examined the boy, he noticed his missing finger. He turned to his followers and said, this child is not perfect. We cannot offer an incomplete sacrifice. And just like that, they let him go. The boy's parents, who had been living in fear, were suddenly overwhelmed with relief. Their son was safe, and in that moment, they remembered Sam's words. When Sam came to visit them again, the parents fell to their knees in gratitude. You were right. We didn't understand it then, but now we see it. God had a plan all along. Sam smiled and said, life will always test you, but if you can trust that even the hardest moments are part of a bigger plan, you'll find peace and purpose. Life is full of moments that don't make sense. You'll face setbacks, heartbreaks, and challenges that seem unfair. But those moments are the seeds of growth. They're preparing you for something greater. So the next time life knocks you down, don't ask, why me? Instead ask, what's the lesson here? How is this shaping me into the person I need to become? Because life isn't random, it's intentional. And every experience, no matter how painful, is part of the journey that's shaping your destiny. Trust it, embrace it, and keep moving forward.